WTF Sports presents Women's CricZone Specials, co-sponsored by Rally Trade Group of Companies. There are some exciting things in store lined up for you.
I'm Karan and this is Ayam, and we'll be your host for this grand event. Lockdown, self-isolation, quarantine, work from home, and to a lesser extent, the new normal have been the terms used in the common language that the world spoke in for the last few months, thanks to the outbreak of COVID-19.
We have been meeting people for business or otherwise on Zoom calls or on other platforms has been a way of life that was unimaginable before. But here we are now, slowly emerging out of the pandemic and getting used to the new way of life.
For Women's CricZone as a team, this was a bit tough to accept because we, much like the cricketing world, had expected the women's sport to boom after the high of the T20 World Cup. Instead, we had to look towards different means to keep women's cricket relevant, and judging by the responses we've got, we seem to have done a decent job over the past few months.
Now, here we are bringing to you WTF Sports presents Women's CricZone Specials, co-sponsored by Rally Trade Group of Companies, where we present to you the latest issue of our magazine. There are a couple of more surprising things as well lined up for you. So stay with us as we unveil our new toys and brace yourself for an hour of joy ride with us.
First up, Ananya Upendra, the managing editor of Women's CricZone, has a few words to say about the third issue of our magazine. So let's have a listen.
There have been plenty of memes and comments going around about how unusual a year 2020 has been. While it's true that we've been largely confined to our own little spaces, unable to explore the world around us, I believe 2020 has been far more positive than we make it out to be. While the fight for equality and representation continues, and of course the fight against COVID-19, within the cricketing world we've come to realize that we do not exist in our own little bubbles. This break from the sport has allowed us to explore sides of the game and the people within it that would have otherwise been ignored. On a personal front, I've realized that we need more active voices within the game. These past few months have revealed to us that the women's cricket fraternity has plenty of strong and very active voices within it. From Alyssa Healy speaking up for domestic cricketers, Ebony Rainford-Brent calling for more diversity in the game, Juliet Post speaking of the need to popularize the game in the Netherlands, Shikhar Pandey stressing on the importance of education, all the way to Sana Mir, who's often shared her opinion on several social issues around the world. These cricketers have used both their voices and their platforms to weigh in on various important issues of the day. As an organization at Women's CricZone, we're trying to be a space that's willing to explore ideas that aren't normally done in mainstream media. We want to be more than just your daily dose of cricket news. You'll see in the pages of our magazine that we've tried to find a balance between celebrating the achievements of our sporting heroes on the field, while also throwing light on topics that have not been explored before. Ones that show how the game has been and can continue to be a vehicle for change. To all the people involved in the creation of this issue of the magazine and those involved in the event, thank you for your continued support. None of our work at Women's CricZone would be possible without you. To our audience, those watching the show, and those reading our work, you're no less important. We hope you enjoy this event.
Since the turn of the decade, two giants of the women's game chose to call their time on their respective careers.
Not only did they shape the sport within their countries, but both Sana Mir and Shashikala Siriwardene managed to redefine a skill that many believed was becoming fast redundant in short-form cricket.
Let's have a look at what Nushin Al-Khadir and Lisa Starikar have to say.
Recently, Sana Mir and just before that, Shashikala Siriwardene both announced their retirement from international cricket. So, first of all, let me know what your impressions and thoughts about the both of them were. So, Nushin?
See, one thing I would say that both of them have been great ambassadors of cricket. I think both of them have made debuts for a country where, like, we were lucky enough that India, Australia were like well-known countries in cricket. But when they started off, the teams were just coming up with cricket. So for them to, see both sides where the team was nothing, to seeing them do well at international level, as a player, as captains, it's been a long journey. And I remember that, when I was playing in Pakistan, Asia Cup, which was a regular thing. First, it was only Sri Lanka and India playing the Asia Cup because Pakistan wasn't the team then. And Shashikala would be a person who used to come and open batting. She was a good all-rounder and also bowl well. So she has seen the journey of Sri Lankan cricket coming up. And similarly, I think Sana Mir, when I saw her as a very young kid, I would have never imagined that she would go on to lead Pakistan with the kind of player she was. But we're glad that, we have two off-spinners who have set an example and played like international cricket over 50 years and have done really well. So, and as Lisa said, they've both been captains. So I think that was a wonderful journey for both of them.
One thing that when I've seen them lately, obviously commentating a number of their matches, and then obviously playing against them, they're two fierce competitors. They love to scrap a win and try and get their team out of. And let's face it, when they were playing Australia, they were always under the pump. But certainly, as an Australian team, when you do your analysis of the opposition, both of them are one of your top bowlers that you go, right, how are we going to cope with her? How are we going to score runs? How are we not going to lose our wickets? Yes, like Nushan said, great ambassadors, and they will continue to be ambassadors for the game in those respective countries. But what I enjoyed the most was, people say spin bowlers aren't too fiery. It's all the fast bowlers. Well, I think if you saw Noosh and I when we played against each other, it was on for young and old, and the same thing with both of those players. So I'm glad to see that there's kind of a little group of us that just love. Give me the ball, I'll get you a wicket. Skip, I'll change the game for the benefit of our team, and they were able to do that consistently for over a decade.
I like how you mentioned about Sana Mir as well as Shashikala being key players in the opposition. Yet for players of the opposite team, it was tough to not give them wickets. And their 200 plus wickets in international cricket speaks a lot. So what is it that they had that despite you knowing that they are a threat, you couldn't actually avoid giving them wickets?
I think, rightly what Lisa said was the fire. See, when you see a transformed team, they have been playing for a side which was nothing. So obviously, see, any player who wants their team to do well, they have seen that phase, that change, where people would say that, is Sri Lanka a team or a Pakistan team? I'm talking about the women. From there to see them beat big sides, it's been a journey. Okay, and they have led the side. And as captains, if you don't have the fire in you, then how will you produce the winning thing among the other players? And I always thought that Sana was a much more calmer player for the early days when I saw her. But then when she took up the captaincy, she was a different player, completely a different player. And I feel that Shashikala was a little more sober, but then she was more like, a calmer person getting her way done. So they have been two different players with two different, mindset, yet successful. So now what cricket is, Pakistan cricket or Sri Lankan cricket, these two names are the first names which actually come up.
As off-spinners, you have to be consistent with your line and length, and they were that. But then, obviously, being captain, you bring yourself on in certain situations, you keep applying the pressure. Well, the pressure gets to the best of anyone, and that's how they picked up wickets. They were very canny with their skill, their art form of spin bowling, but also as a leader, as a captain, they strategically knew where to put fielders, how to build up pressure. So as a batter out in the middle facing them, you're like, where am I scoring runs? How am I getting the scoreboard going in the right direction? I don't want to be out here with a strike rate of 50. I need to get going. And they applied that much pressure. And that's why they were successful.
Now, on to something fun. While most of the players are quite serious when it comes to their game, off the field they have a funny side to them.
Nadine de Klerk and Laura Boulevard both had a terrific outing in the semi-final of the T20 World Cup earlier this year. Here they are trying to stump one another with a small fun segment. Let's have a look.
Debut.
South Africa.
Okay, dressing room.
Messi.
Base knock.
Against Ireland.
Okay, inspiration.
My teammates.
Satisfaction.
Winning.
Destruction.
Because I'll leave.
Okay, movies.
Titanic.
Favorite singer.
Justin Bieber. Definitely.
Friend.
You. Okay, you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Number 1. Brother.
Raina.
Best memory.
Making my debut.
Childhood.
Naughty.
Can believe that. T20 World Cup semi-final.
Unforgettable.
Yeah, you had a good game. India.
Very humid.
Best teammate.
Mignon de Priya.
Oh, okay, fine. Whatever.
Mother in the team.
Holiday destination.
Mauritius.
Opposition.
Australia.
Laura Wolfart.
Best cricketer in South Africa.
Yeah, just being nice.
By far. Not for reals. I have to give you that one.
I hope you guys are enjoying WTF Sports Presents Women's CricZone Specials, co-sponsored by Rodrigues Group of Companies. Moving on to the first major event of the evening, our third magazine.
We began in Sangli, then we went to London, and now where to next? Any guesses?
I would have loved to spoil the party, but he worked pretty hard on it, so I better keep my mouth shut.
So Karan, shall we start unveiling?
Yes, of course, as I don't want a lovely audience to get bored of our blabbering.
Then let's have a look at who is on our cover this time.
just seen the front cover of the new women's CricZone magazine. I'm pretty honoured to be on the front page, although it's probably going to scare a few people, I think. It's been a pretty exciting time in my world in the last 12 months, obviously with the second win for Brisbane Heat in the WBBL, and obviously followed that up with the T20 World Cup win with Australia. It's a shame that the corona's come on board and sort of slowed things down, but I'm sure that won't halt the momentum that we've gained in the last few years in women's cricket. It's been nice to just be out in beautiful Brisbane, Allan Border Field training as well, and honing my skills and making sure I'm in the best position possible to be as successful as I can be in the coming season, whether it be for Perth, Queensland Fire, or for the Australian team. Hopefully I'll see you guys around the traps once the season gets up and going again, but thanks for supporting the game and supporting what we do here.
My first memory of Beth would have to have been, I reckon it was about under 15s, so it was many, many years ago now. This young, talented girl from Wide Bay, handy left-hand top order bat, good wicket keeper. I just remember coming across her at a underage tournament, and she really sort of blew everybody away. And it's crazy to think now that she's also an Australian and a Queensland teammate as well from right back many years ago.
My first memories of Moons was just a young country girl, willing to take on all the information that people were giving her to become a better player.
Memory of Beth would be playing state cricket. Obviously she was playing for Queensland and I was for Victoria, and quite a young player who came on the scene, and I just remember her great ability to hit the ball over and through cover in the offside, which back in those days probably wasn't that common. So she certainly looked like she had something special right from the start.
What's impressed me most with her development, probably more the physical side of the game. I think Beth, when we first sort of met each other, she was in and out of the Australian team. She came on an Ashes tour as a late possible replacement for Elisa Healy, but was in and out of the side for a while and didn't cement a spot. But she made some really good changes to her training outside of her skill set, and went from the back of the pack in probably the area that most of the players hate is the 2K time trial, and she went from the back of the pack to up around the 4th spot, just through sheer hard work, determination, and willingness to sort of get outside her comfort zone. So that's impressed me the most. She's always been a very good player, but I think her professionalism across the board now is unquestioned, and that's why she's one of the best players in the world.
I reckon Moons' best quality would have to be her work ethic, as well as how sure she is of what she needs to be able to perform. And she's always going to be somebody that will do anything and everything that she possibly can to get the team a positive result. And her consistency, it's a credit to the work that she puts in. It doesn't happen overnight. I've seen sort of it building over the last few years, and it's really nice to see her getting the rewards because of all that hard work she's put in.
To the team, Beth brings a pretty level-headedness. I think when she's out in the middle and when I've been batting with her, she's always really clear in her plan and what she wants to do, and I think that's really helpful as a new batter coming in when the person out there is really in control and got it covered. And I guess off the field she's willing to speak up and sort of give her opinion on different things, and I think that's really important in a group, that people feel comfortable to do that and are able to bring new ideas and try and keep the group and individuals moving forward.
How much better do I think Moons can get? I think if you ask her, she'd say she could get a lot better, but I think for her it's just about finding that consistency. She's been such a reliable player in every team she takes part in, so I think it's for her, it's when the runs aren't coming, it's just being able to find what works for her again, and that consistency. But I think when you look at her game over the last 2 or 3 years, she's improved massively, and she's really starting to get rewarded for all the effort she's put in.
Could she get better? Everyone can get better, I guess, but it will be a hard year to top. I think from the last 18 months in particular, on the back of herself, probably one 2 T20 finals domestically, involved a heavy load in the ODIs and that for Australia, but also a T20 game has been exceptional. And she's in the best players in the world. And obviously, from a keeping point of view, if Elisa Healy was to break a finger, we've got an able replacement. So Beth's putting a lot of work into her game off the field, and in a short space of time made herself into one of our top 5 or 6 fielders as well. So she just shows time and time out, if you want something bad enough and you're willing to work at it, anything can be achieved. So look at this space for the next couple of years for Beth.
Hi guys, Smriti Mandhana here. Congratulations to Women's CricZone for their magazine. I remember shooting for the first cover, and I know you guys have worked really hard from that time, and now you are already on the 3rd issue. So wishing you a lot of success in the years to come.
Hi there, congratulations to Women's CricZone on the release of 3rd issue of the magazine. I wish you continue to hit 6s and 4s throughout your journey, and good luck for the future.
Women's CricZone has been produced. We've had edition 1 and edition 2. They were wonderful magazines, and now edition 3 will be an online version, so keep an eye out for that.
Hi, this is Chloe Tran. Just want to congratulate Women's CricZone on their 3rd edition.
Hey guys, Danny White here. Congratulations to Women's CricZone for their 3rd issue of the magazine. Absolutely loving your work that you're doing, especially during lockdown. There was some fun things that you guys were doing, including the quiz, which was good fun.
We have been partnering with Women's CricZone for the last 3 years. What this magazine has been doing is an incredible job for women's cricket all across the world.
Congratulations to Women's CricZone on the release of the 3rd issue of the magazine.
Just want to say a big congratulations to Women's CricZone for their 3rd magazine. Great effort, guys.
Hi, this is Samudra. I would like to thank Women's CricZone for making us part of their magazine, and I wish them all the best continuing their efforts in the zone of women's cricket.
I'd like to congratulate Women's CricZone on the release of the 3rd issue of the magazine. They have been doing a great job on covering women's game in recent time. I'm wishing them a better future.
Congratulations on the release of the 3rd issue of the Women's CricZone magazine. It was lovely to be involved in the creation of the previous issue, and it's great you're getting better each year. Good luck with all you have up your sleeve, and keep supporting the women's game. Thank you.
Adam Collins here. Big congratulations to the team at Women's CricZone for the publication of their 3rd magazine. They're doing a fantastic job there, covering every inch of the women's game.
A big congratulations to Women's CricZone team for the launch of their 3rd edition of the world-class magazine. I've been seeing for the past 1.5 years great content being built by Women's CricZone team, and the consistency and the professionalism is just amazing. Kudos to the team for the excellent work and their effort in putting all the content of the women cricket under the single platform. Well done and all the very best.
Big congratulations to the Women's CricZone for the issue of their 3rd magazine. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the entire team for the work they have been doing in bringing the women's cricket under one platform.
Congratulations Women's CricZone on the release of the 3rd edition of your magazine. It's so great to see all the hard work you're doing covering women's cricket, and let's hope for a better future.
Congratulations to Women's CricZone for the 3rd issue of the magazine.
Congratulations to the Women's CricZone team on the release of the 3rd issue of the magazine. It's great to see you guys growing from strength to strength. Keep supporting the women's game, and here's to bigger and better things ahead.
Congratulations Women's CricZone on your 3rd issue. As players, we are very grateful for your commitment to covering the women's game, and here's to bigger and better things in the future.
Congratulations to the Women's CricZone team for the launch of the 3rd issue of their magazine.
Congratulations to the Women's CricZone for their 3rd edition of the magazine. I think they've been doing an amazing job over the past couple of years for women's cricket.
Hello, Isabel Westbury here. Just a quick message to say congratulations to everybody at Women's CricZone for the first e-launch. Unprecedented time has been unprecedented action, and of course as well the launch of their third magazine. I'm really looking forward to reading that.
Hello everyone, wishing Women's CricZone on holding tight from the bounces of 2020 and hitting the ball out of the park by releasing third issue of the magazine this year, and wishing you all the very best for all the upcoming years.
Congratulations to Women's CricZone and the entire team for coming out with the third edition of the magazine. I know it's been challenging times for the sports industries, and in spite of all that's happening around, you guys are still keeping up the good work, and in fact you all have come off stronger than what you all were before. So I just want to say thank you for promoting women's cricket and my best wishes to you all.
Namaste. It sounds hard when we hear about the word investment. It always gives a feeling which is so strong that apparently we fall looking towards it. But my dear friends, in today's world where living in nothing has become so uncertain, there is a need of something certain, something strong, which aims at securing our financial stability and helps us out for our better future. You just need a start. We are ready to work for the financial activity and your investment. On this auspicious day of 15th August, let's celebrate the victory of our freedom warriors. Let's be generous to them and ourselves by doing something today, which will definitely be a helpful asset in the future. We at Really Trade are happy to help you with your investment planning because we care about your investment. Thank you. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you so much, and we are really proud to have Ready Trade Group of Companies as our co-sponsor. The cover story of a magazine is something people eagerly wait to read and is used as its USP. In our third issue, Adam Collins' description about Mooney's transformation is indeed worth having a read.
But don't forget, there's another story on a topic considered to be a taboo. The lives of players belonging to the LGBTQ community, which is well articulated by Rap culture. We found out what we went into the creation of the stories. Here's a bit about Adam and Rap speaking about their approach to their stories.
When a player does well and when a player succeeds, that the bias, if you like, from a journalistic perspective is to assume that it was predetermined, to see the pathway they were on and to go, well, that obviously led to that, that obviously led to that. And I think what was missing in the Mooney story was explaining that it wasn't that straightforward at all. And I mentioned the fitness predicament. Remember that a lot of women who play international cricket do so when they're teenagers, or they're right about there when they're teenagers. Well, in Beth's case, I think she got there by the time she was 22 or whatever it was, but it was no clear thing that she was going to make it at all. She didn't think she was going to play for Australia. I think that's an important part of it. She wanted to from when she moved to Queensland as a teenager. I think she was, I think she might have moved at the end of primary school from Shepparton in Victoria, but when she was playing cricket in Hervey Bay and then subsequently for the Queensland junior teams, she knew she potentially could play for Australia, and there's that nice discussion she had with the coach watching Jodie Field's wicketkeep for Queensland and saying that could be you one day, you could play for Queensland and Australia at a senior level. But despite all that goodwill, there was this gap. And yeah, again, Beth identifies her fitness and also, I suppose, the strength of Australian women's cricket when they're beating all comers and routinely winning World Cups as they would have been doing at that transition phase from junior to senior cricket for Beth around the age she was probably 18 to 22. There was kind of no spots for her. So it took the WBBL to give her a platform to be there week in, week out, posting big numbers, showing her wares on television, and having her story told. So I thought that was far more important to explain that period and to go into explaining that, to realise that it wasn't predetermined, that it wasn't something that was always going to happen. It wasn't inevitable that she'd be an international player. It's due to a series of decisions she made to invest in her fitness, to prove to the powers that be that could marry up nicely with her natural attributes that I already told you about that made her look like a cricketer. And those two things combined gave her the opportunity to be successful on the big stage.
Well, it's something that I've been interested in for a while. I have been researching the history of women's cricket, particularly in England, for about 10 years now. And it's certainly a subject that came up in some of the interviews that I did with kind of older cricketers. it's a difficult subject to talk about, but it certainly seems to have been the case, really intriguingly, that women's cricket has always attracted a lot of gay women to play, and so I was kind of interested in that from that perspective. But while it's always attracted lots of gay women playing, it hasn't necessarily been the case that they felt able to talk about it. So that was kind of difficult for me as a researcher in terms of doing interviews with them, but also, you hear stories about people say, I think there's one in my article about the 1993 Women's World Cup, which was in England, and this group of gay players who were interviewed by a journalist who said, "Oh, what do your boyfriends think about you playing cricket?" So there's that assumption there of kind of them not being gay, and they played along with it because it just seemed to be something that people talk about. And actually, it's been so recent. So only in October last year, October 2019, that Nat Siver and Catherine Brunt announced their engagement. And my understanding is that makes them the first ever English players to kind of come out in that way. And that seems a bit at odds with the fact that there have been so many gay women who I know have played the sport. So the piece is kind of sort of saying, well, what's changed? Why is it taking till now? Why is it taking so long? But also, what is it that's changed in the kind of environment that's allowed players to now feel that they can sort of, I guess, live their private lives a bit more publicly?
Welcome back to WTF Sports presents Women's CricZone Specials, co-sponsored by Related Group of Companies. This has been a difficult period for all of us, but as the cricket calendar continues to open up, it is important we try to keep the momentum we've gained over the last 5 years.
Who better to ask how we can achieve that than two of the leading female administrators in the game?
Here's a sneak peek of the chat we had with ICC's Holly Conway
and ECB's Claire Connor.
All of us know that to take this game forward, we have to keep an eye on the grassroots level. But now so much of time and finances lost. How we are going to meet these two ends? How we are going to keep an eye on the grassroots level? Because big series and big matches will happen. But ultimately, we have to keep an eye on the grassroots level cricket. How we are going to help this cause?
Well, look, I don't think that's a new challenge, actually. I think, yes, it's maybe a sharper challenge with less money. But in the women's game, particularly since I've been involved in administration of the women's game, it's a constant challenge. Where do you invest your money? It's a chicken and egg. Do you invest at the elite end to show, to give some visibility to elite women's cricket, to show a possible career path? Well, that's no good if you've got no one playing the game at a grassroots level. So it is about, allocating your resources accordingly and recognizing that, one is lost without the other. So there's no point having 1 million girls playing the game in schools and clubs if there's nowhere for them to progress. Equally, there's no point having a very well-paid England women's team if there's nobody to fill their shoes in 5 or 10 years' time. So I think it's a perennial challenge, is how do you allocate your resources? It is the grassroots of the game that is the lifeblood of the game. It's where your volunteers come from and are needed, and it's where boys and girls pick up bats and balls for the first time. So, I think it's about getting your strategy right in terms of your investment. And obviously that will become a harder exercise with less money. But to be honest, the women's game has always had less money than the men's game. So, it's certainly not a new challenge. And it will be a challenge across men's and women's cricket, obviously, across the world, I'm sure, is, how do we invest less money for a little while to make sure that we're still seeing brilliant elite performances and international performances and global events and IPL and so on. But how do we also protect the grassroots of the game? So yeah, it's an ongoing challenge. And I think it's, part of the challenge is recognizing the importance of the connection of that whole pathway. It's those elite players that inspire boys and girls to play if they can see them, whether that's live or on television or streaming or whatever. So that's the constant challenge, I think, of being a cricket administrator, actually. So it's not a new one, but maybe it's a slightly more difficult one with less money to go around.
Holly, what ICC is doing on this front?
On grassroots cricket, we certainly have an importance with our the associate members in terms of our grants and the importance of women's cricket in that. I think the real main lever that we have been able to sort of push and in order to create a groundswell of activity and like Claire said, set up pathways is the introduction of an under-19 World Cup, something that has been missing from our international events calendar, for a long time now, and it's fantastic that we will be getting that event every 2 years in the future, and I think that's a really important asset I think that we can bring and create that pathway for talented girls to play it on an international stage and don't get lost to other sports or get lost to not playing sport at all, and actually keeping them in the game and then transitioning them into cricket. I think Claire mentioned the kind of balance between grassroots and high performance investment, and I think you can go about it two ways. There's a really fascinating case study with the likes of Thailand, who have very much gone up the ranks quite quickly in women's international cricket and have made a very targeted approach to their kind of focus on their women's national team and emerging national players and create a really good quality hardball cricket program. And now they're starting to look into their grassroots, and it's been a fascinating kind of case study to watch. But I agree, it's you've got to have it both ways, and I think the ICC, the biggest thing is creating that lever to create that momentum from our members.
Before we get to our last segment, we should give you updates from the world of women's cricket on the go. We have got another fun segment lined up.
It is fascinating to imagine being a fly on the wall in one of the dressing rooms and just know what transpires there or know more about the players, isn't it?
Well, De Klerk and Boulevard bring to us dressing room diaries and give us a peep into what the South African dugout is like.
Best memory on tour?
Probably at the World Cup now. I think after we were finished all of our games, we kind of just sat in the change room for hours, just, talking about the game and just chatting to each other. And even though we lost, I think, just being together there as a team was just, such a great memory of mine. And playing at the SCG, it was really great.
For me, I would go with India. I feel we had quite a tough time, but I think we came back pretty well in that one T20. So I think we finished off quite well after having a really difficult time adapting to the conditions and the humidity and all of that. So yeah, that's for me.
Who's got the weirdest nickname in the South African team?
Probably Nkuleko, we call her Lefty. Or she actually, I don't know if you remember, but at the World Cup she had like blonde hair. So she's already lefty, and then we called her Popcorn as well. So she had a lot of nicknames. Everyone was just saying Lefty and Popcorn, and none of them were even close to her real name. So yeah, she has quite a lot of nicknames.
I think she's actually the only one with a funny nickname there, but I'll go with Nondamiso, because they usually call her Shangase because of her surname, or Shanghai, or whatever they call her. So I think that's pretty outside the box as well.
Your favorite dish or the go-to dish when on tour?
I think wherever we can get some sushi, I'm always super keen. I think we earlier last year we toured to, or this year we toured to New Zealand, and they had takeaway sushi places everywhere. So I love that. I had sushi every day.
For me, definitely a chicken schnitzel, either with chips or veggies, but depends where we are and whatever, but definitely a chicken schnitzel.
Nadine loves her chicken schnitzel. Every time we go out, she orders chicken schnitzel.
Who's the prankster in the dressing room?
Probably Chloe Tryon. She's always making jokes with everyone. Yeah, Chloe, she's real fun in the dressing room.
I'll also actually go with Chloe Tryon, but I'll throw Shabnam Ismail in there as well. I know she's always in for a game or two, so yeah, I'll go with Shibi.
Any funny prank the both of you can recall?
Actually, earlier this year, they got a scary Halloween mask somewhere at a store, and then late at night they came knocking on everyone's door in the hotel, and then you'd open the door and they were wearing that mask, and we got such a fright. But yeah, that was a good one.
I have to go with the same one, because I remember when Chloe knocked on my door, I almost fainted, so I'll have to go with the same one.
Welcome to WTF Sports. I have Manak Parekh, Vineet Bhatia and myself, Yash Karakia, co-founders. WTF Sports is an entertainment and a sports platform.
So why did we start WTF? Well, a year ago we were ideating it. And as time came and the pandemic hit, we realized that the need of the hour was to have something new and something to keep people engaged while sports were shut.
You know, just to further add to what Vineet said, when we were doing a lot of the research, and during our research came across that a lot of these fantasy sports applications are very country, region, sports centric. So for example, all the apps in India were very heavily focused on cricket, kabaddi and different Indian sports, whereas in America, it was more focused on NFL, MLB and in Europe on football. So we thought, why not amalgamate all of them onto one singular app and add a layer of social media as well, where people can consume and enjoy news as well. So guys, just want to tell you that come join Harmanpreet Kaur and Suresh Raina and play on WTF Sports.
Have you downloaded the WTF Sports app yet? If not, please do it now. You use the time under lockdown to transform how the website that you access for your women's cricket updates looks. From a plain look, you've changed to a theme many of you might resonate with.
Presenting to you the new look of womenscrickzone.com. Also, here's presenting you the Women's CricZone app, the first of its kind that is dedicated to women's cricket.
Well, I'll let the visuals speak more than our words now.
another congratulations is in order because they are about to launch their app. Yes, an app is being launched for Women's CricZone magazine where you can get all the updates for women's cricket. So congratulations to all those who are involved.
They also launched their CricZone app, which gives you updates on women's cricket all around the world. Go check it out to see all the updates.
There are cricket apps and there are cricket apps, but there isn't one that's dedicated to women's cricket only. Women's CricZone is bringing you the Women's CricZone app, an app that will allow you to follow the women's game like never before. And my compliments to everybody involved. I'm sure all of you will be able to download it and follow the game that you love so dearly even better.
The one-stop destination for women's cricket, Women's CricZone has launched a mobile app which is the first ever exclusively on women's cricket. Download the app for all the latest updates.
Women's CricZone द्वारा पूरी तरह से महिला क्रिकेट के लिए समर्पित पहला ऐप लॉन्च किया है, जहां आप पा सकते हैं सभी नए अपडेट, वो भी अपने एंड्रॉयड और iOS फोन पर। तो देर किस बात की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
They have launched the Women's CricZone app, which I encourage you to go out and download to keep track of all the developments and that's happening in the women's game, and you get to see some of the top women cricketers.
Hello everyone, the world's only premier portal exclusively dedicated to women's cricket has launched its app, the Women's CricZone app. So download it for each and every news and a one-stop solution for everything about women's cricket.
They have also launched the Women's CricZone app, which is the first ever exclusively on women's cricket. Download the app for all the latest updates.
The Women's CricZone app, the first of its kind, dedicated to women's cricket. Very exciting launch, can't wait for it, and you can download it for all the updates.
Also, they have come up with Women's CricZone mobile app, which is the first ever exclusively for women's cricket. Download the app for all the latest updates.
Women's CricZone app, so download it and keep updated in the latest news on Premier Cricket from all over the world.
First ever mobile application exclusively dedicated to women's cricket. At a time when we have the entire world at our fingertips, Women's CricZone is doing a phenomenal job by launching their first ever mobile application.
The Women's CricZone app, which is the first ever app dedicated to women's cricket. Download the app for all the latest updates.
Launched the Women's CricZone app, so get into that. Really good idea. Congratulations guys, well done.
And an even bigger congratulations for the launch of their app, which is the first app dedicated to women's cricket. So great stuff from Women's CricZone.
Most importantly, they have launched Women's CricZone app, which is not only first of its kind, but entirely dedicated to women's cricket. So don't wait, download and enjoy all the latest updates.
Congrats for the launch of your app. I mean, an app dedicated just for women's cricket is a great initiative, and I'm keen to see how this helps more and more people connect to the game.
How about having an app dedicated to women's cricket? Well, Women's CricZone is going to launch first ever such app dedicated to women's cricket, bringing you all the latest updates and much more. So make sure you download it.
Fingers might lose or might just get hold of the ball. Women's CricZone has just got everything steady at your fingertips. Download the first ever application dedicated entirely to women's cricket and stay updated.
Hi, this is Jadhav. Congratulations to Women's CricZone on the launch of the first ever app exclusively for women's cricket. This is excellent news, and I'm sure many cricketers like me and fans of women's cricket are eagerly looking forward to the unveiling of the app.
Well done on producing the first ever women's cricket only app. It is going to be a game changer for the game, for fans, for the players to be able to track news, events, tournaments, statistics. It will have it all, and certainly I know in commentary I will certainly be using that app to get all my information. So well done on the team in being able to produce the magazine in these difficult times, but also the app, and I can't wait to actually get over and celebrate with you guys.
It was a pleasure having you all with us, and I hope that you liked the app and the website. Keep showering your love to our magazine as you've done for the previous 2 releases.
It's you, our followers and well-wishers, who drive us to work harder and provide you with more. Finally, here's Yash Lahoti, the CEO and founder of Women's CricZone, with a few words of gratitude.
Pandemic, coronavirus, lockdown, isolation, quarantine. These are the words we've been hearing everywhere we go for quite a while now. Sport, something that was previously part of our daily lives, was rarely part of any conversation. It was forced to become an afterthought. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and that is when new ideas are born. With no cricket on the horizon, at Women's CricZone, we pushed ourselves to come up with new, engaging content in order to keep our audience occupied through this period. Women's CricZone Specials was one of those. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the event. To those who supported us, nearly 48 stars who were a part of our program today, a big thank you. To Holly Colvin and the ICC and Claire Connor from the ECB, thank you for your time. Your support is the reason we are able to do what we are doing. A big thank you to our partners at WTF Sports and Ready Trade Group of Companies. To all our viewers, thank you for sticking around till the very end. We hope you enjoyed the event. With this, it's time to say goodbye as we close this event. But keep your guessing hats on as we bring to you more stuff in the future. And remember, cricket is coming soon, so there's much to look forward to.
We would like to thank our sponsors, WTF Sports and Ready Trade Group of Companies, and all of you for tuning in this grand launch event.
Goodbye and stay safe.